NTA UGC NET Paper 1. Some students take it lightly and some students think that it is very tough. So if you fall in either of these categories, you are wrong. Do not take it very lightly and don't think that it is very tough subject, because see, some students think that general paper is there, means aptitude questions and research aptitude, technical aptitude type of questions are there, and so it's better to prepare more, it's better to focus more on subject specific like paper 2. Yeah, it's good to focus more on paper 2 because that is having 200 marks and paper 1 is of 100 marks. But see, if you have studied very hard, if you have prepared very well, then I guess you can get 150 marks in paper 2. It's very tough to get 150 plus marks in paper 2. For that you will have to work hard, you will have to study very well. But if you put some efforts in paper 1, in preparing paper 1, if you study smartly, I am not saying you have to work hard, you have to study very hard for paper 1. If you study smartly for paper 1, then easily you can get 70 plus marks. So you can get a very good score if you focus on paper 1 a little bit. Do not ignore this paper. Some students think what? They just focus on paper 2 subjects and at last they think that in 10 to 15 days they will cover paper 1. Yeah, you can cover paper 1 in those days, but you are not able to get 70 plus marks. In paper 1 there are some units which require regular practice like DI or reading comprehension. It's not like that you can prepare all the units very well in last 10 to 15 days. It would be pressure for you at that time. So it's better to start preparation for paper 1 with paper 2 like 3 or 4 months before your exam. So in this video I am going to discuss some tips how to get 70 plus score in paper 1, how to study smartly for paper 1. But before that, just want to tell you one thing. For NET aspirants, UGC NET aspirants, an academy has started a paper analysis series. It is NTA UGC NET Paper 1 analysis series, and in this series classes would be conducted by the top educators at an academy. So in these classes the top educators will analyze paper 1 question papers of NTA UGC NET 2020 exam. In these classes they will discuss the detailed solutions to these questions and the best strategy to solve these type of questions, the best possible steps to solve those questions, so that you can attempt maximum number of questions in less time. You know how to solve these kind of questions, the approach of solving a particular type of question, so that would be good for you. And these are free live classes, you don't need to pay anything to attend these classes. So if you are interested, you can attend these classes, the paper analysis classes, to brush up your knowledge for the concepts, the paper 1 concepts. And it has already been started from 21st of November on Unacademy. So for that, to attend these classes, you just have to enroll. All the details and the enrollment link I will give you in the description box of this video. You can go and check out there. So now let us discuss some tips to get a very good score in paper 1. Before that, let us discuss what is the syllabus for paper 1. I hope everybody is aware about there are 50 questions and 100 marks and 10 units are there. So these are 10 units. So if you want to get a very good score in paper 1, at least try to aim for 30 to 35 questions. Do not aim to solve 50 questions correctly. Yeah, you have to attempt all the questions because there is no negative marking, right? But it's not like that I am supposed to attempt all the 50 questions correctly. According to that, I'll read. If you will do this thing, if you are aiming for 50 questions correctly, then you will dedicate more time in these subjects. And from these subjects, I think like people and environment, higher education, government and polity, from these units very unpredictable questions they can ask sometimes and tricky questions can be there, right? So it's not possible to attempt all the 50 questions correctly. Keep this thing in your mind. You should study like that you can attempt 35 questions correctly, right? So from each unit 5 questions they ask. Sometimes from research aptitude like 6 questions, and from teaching aptitude 4 questions. Sometimes from teaching 4 questions, like 6 questions, and from there 4 questions. This happens, but on an average 5 questions from each unit. So each unit is having equal weightage. Don't think it is not important, just leave it. No, from each unit they will ask 5 questions on an average. So what you can do, you can prepare what 7 units very well. But before starting your preparation, one thing you can do, what, just take previous year question paper and try to solve paper 1, right? And at that time you will figure out which type of questions are very tough for you, which type of questions you can solve. Because see, from these units, some type of questions require only common sense. Like in my opinion, teaching aptitude questions require only common sense, and some questions are very easy, like from ICT and from communication, easy type of questions they ask. So you can easily solve those questions without actually preparation, without actually preparing these units. So find out first of all that thing, and find out your strong points there and weak points there, like which type of questions you are not able to solve. You don't even think how to solve that question, right? So focus on those units first, and if you are good at particular unit, it's not like that just leave it, you have to study that unit also. It is just to analyze yourself first, right? Your strength, your weakness, and then start preparation. At least 6 to 7 units you should prepare very well. Now you can decide which unit you want to prepare. I would suggest do not leave teaching aptitude, ICT, research aptitude, communication, and these also. If you are good at practical subjects or at numbers, if you are good, have good logical thinking, in that time you should not leave these subjects. And this is also easy, reading comprehension. Yeah, it will take time, but if you practice one comprehension daily, like before 3 or 4 months before your exam, you will be good at this thing also. And see, here also 5 questions would be there, but 2 questions are very easy. I have observed the pattern, from 5 questions 2 to 3, or I would say minimum 2 questions would be very easy. Definitely you are able to solve without any preparation, even without any preparation for reading comprehension. You can easily solve 2 questions. 1 or 2 question would be average, and 1 question is difficult type of question. So if you practice for this reading comprehension, you can easily solve 4 questions. But if you don't practice, then also you can solve 2 questions, right? But you have to practice for DI, for data interpretation type of questions, because at the time of exam 50 questions and 60 minutes. So these type of questions require a lot of time if you don't practice very much, right? But if you are good in DI concepts, in these type of questions, and if you have practiced very well, like 3 or 4 months you have practiced all the questions, so easily you can attempt 3 questions, easily 3 questions out of 5 questions. Same pattern, 2 questions would be very easy, 1 or 2 would be average, and 1 would be difficult. So easily you can solve 3 to 4 if you have practiced very well, right? And from these topics, from these units, generally tricky questions they ask, or sometimes unpredictable questions can be asked. You have no clue about that. Maybe regarding current affairs and all, GK, they will check your general awareness, and it is very tough to read all the current affairs. Yeah, for this thing what you can do, you can make a habit of reading newspaper or watching news. That would be sometimes beneficial to solve these kind of questions. But do not put very much time, very much hard work, very much efforts in preparing these subjects. Rather than this, I would suggest practice reading comprehension and DI questions and these reasoning question, maths and logical reasoning question. Suppose if you are not good in logical reasoning question or any reasoning which includes math question, but still there are some subtopics in which you are good, like maybe coding and decoding type of questions you can solve easily. Maybe you are good at blood relations, you can easily understand. Maybe you are good at those direction questions, right? So you can prepare those subtopics very well, so that if any question comes from these topics, you can attempt very easily in less time. So my second tip is what? Do not leave any unit completely. There are still some topics, some subtopics in which you are good. Prepare those topics or subtopics. Or what you can do, analyze previous year question paper. According to that, find out from which topic generally they ask question every year, which type of question, and prepare those topics, right? And third tip is what? Take previous year question paper, 10-year question papers, or at least 6 to 7 year at least, and try to sort those question paper. Sorting means what? If suppose you have taken 7-year question papers past, so what you have, 14 question paper you have, right? And every year they ask 5 questions from each unit. So 14 into 5, for each unit you have how many questions? Total 70 questions for each unit. So what you will do, take a separate notebook, and in that notebook start subject wise, unit wise, like research aptitude, and note down all the questions, 70 questions. Then teaching aptitude, note down all the 70 questions, like this for all the units. And now try to solve all the questions. Like now try to analyze which type of questions they ask, from which topics, from which subtopic they ask question. Like let us take in communication, generally they ask question every time from communication models. Communication models are very important, so do not leave this topic. So this is the benefit of solving previous year question paper. You will come to know which subtopic is important, which topic is important in these units. So focus on that topic very much. Study that topic in a way that any question will ask from, they ask from that topic, and you will attempt that question. Next step is follow the study materials, or maybe you are following, if suppose video tutorials, then follow that study material from one trusted resource, only one. Do not just go here and there, like from this YouTube channel, from this YouTube channel, or from you have borrowed notes from your friends also, and you have purchased study material of any coaching institute also, and you are as well as following some books, some textbooks for paper 1. No, it is going to confuse you only. Paper 1 is not very tough, it is comparatively very easy than paper 2. So you have to study less, but you have to study what is important, you have to study smartly. If you have collected material from suppose 3 to 4 resources, you have this video tutorial, you have this video tutorial, you have your friends notes, you have purchased from any coaching institute, you have books also, then which resource, from which resource you will refer, you will get confused. So from whatever study material you are preparing, just stick to that for revision also and for your preparation also. And next, I have already told you, do not waste much time on current affairs and general awareness type of things. I am not saying that just leave it, do not focus on current affairs. Yes, you must read newspaper, you must watch news channels or any video tutorials for current affairs and general awareness type of things. But it's not like that you are completely devoting 5 days, maybe 7 days or 10 days for this thing only. And my personal advice is what? For paper 1 preparation, there are many YouTube channels, right? Just follow video tutorials of any one good trusted YouTuber. Plus, just practice practical questions like DI questions, reading comprehension, this reasoning question. Practice daily. It will increase your speed of attempting those questions with accuracy at the time of exam, because speed is very important here. 50 questions and 60 minutes you have, almost 1 minute for each question you have. So how you are going to attempt the exam, that is also very important. So that's it for this video. Maybe next video we will discuss how to attempt exam, those tips. So now I'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye, take care.